Heyo Outliers, Jae Gruenke is a Feldenkrais practitioner and run-in form expert, a master of 24 years who's coached everyone from first-timers to Olympians to stop fighting their bodies and run the way they were born to. What she does is rarer and more needed than ever, but the ground shifted. The way people used to find her changed almost overnight, and now the challenge isn't the work, it's the bridge between her genius and the people hungry for it. So, what does a master do when what she offers has never mattered more, but the old ways of being found have fallen away? Let's get into the room and find out. Hey there, Outliers. Niiamah Shang here, and thank you so much for letting us be a part of your journey. Today we are in for a treat as we co-create with an incredible outlier, Jae Gruenke. Now, the thing that I really appreciate about Jae is that she's had a life that's full, that continues to know success, and also shows up in a way that brings out more than just the surface. But you get a chance to actually I would almost say here, and Jae, we're just meeting each other, but we get to experience the person behind the success. And I think that there's a lot to that here. And so thank you for bringing all of you to the table. Thank you for playing the game that you played so that we can even meet in the first place. It wouldn't have happened if you were playing a very small game here. Jae, it's great to be in space with you here. Welcome, Outlier Edge.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to have this conversation with you.
Yeah, same here, same here. So we're going to get into co-creation in a bit, but before we get there, I want to get a chance for us to understand where I think who are you right now? So would you mind sharing with us more about you and the game you're currently playing?
Sure. I'm a Feldenkrais practitioner and running form expert. My business is called The Balanced Runner. So Feldenkrais method of movement education, that's an experiential method for helping people improve how they move. And so to a runner, that means running form. But more importantly, it means learning how to stop fighting your body and work with it instead. Saves a ton of energy, but it also, running is a fundamental human gait, is part of who we are as a species, as human beings. And especially for those who love to do it, it's fundamental to who they are as people and, again, as humans. And most runners have had a dream where they felt like running was smooth and flowing and like they could just run forever. And that's not a dream. That's actually, we have that dream because that's what running is supposed to be for us. And so that's our birthright. And so that's really my mission, is to reconnect us, to help as many people reclaim that birthright as possible. And that leads us also into larger connection with each other, with the world we live in, because when you become more fully, when you can more fully access who you were meant to be, that makes you more of a part of the whole. So.
You're speaking directly to my soul right here, right? So this is great here. So for outliers right now, if they wanted to go more into your world, see some of the things that you're doing right now and so forth, what are the best ways for them to go do that?
Best way is balancedrunner.com. That's my website. There's a massive blog there, and I also have a YouTube channel, though there are two Balanced Runner YouTube channels on YouTube. So if you got a guy with an Australian accent, that's not me.
That helps.
He's the other guy.
All right.
Global
That was good.
trademark is a
Yeah.
complicated thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the best places to find me. And my work has been with runners, beginner to Olympian, runners and triathletes, and also people who run for work. So yeah, accessible to a wide range of folks.
All right, awesome. And I'm appreciative. You're 20 years into this career, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to make sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
24.
24,
Glasgow.
24.
Yep.
I always love to, I have this metric in my mind, not a metric, a time frame, right? So there's a decade, and then to me, a 25 years is a generation. So you've been doing this for a generation, and
Mm.
that's massive for me. And I felt it was important to bring that in here because it's you're not just off the street about this. You're you've been doing this, and so I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what comes next for you, given that. All right,
Yeah,
awesome.
it's funny. I do get clients now who weren't born when I started.
Yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
first time that happened. I was like, whoa. Actually, the first thing that
Yeah.
comes is, whoa, I'm old.
Yeah, I was like, I laughed right now, like, and like, I'm like a bit self-conscious because like the laugh I had kind of sounded like a villainous laugh, like woo ha 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 ha. Ha. But I was like, but I think it's because like
Yeah.
I'm imagining on my, I'm like, yeah, no, I get it,
Yeah.
like it's funny and like at the same time, like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Well, like let's build off this here. So what we're gonna do right now then, is we're gonna put outliers over to the side. They're going to now become a fly on the wall of a conversation we have here, right? Like I told you this before we hit record here. Like I think you're incredible. I know that you've already done great things. I wanted to make sure we brought in all of your experience into this conversation, so that we know that we're building from that as like the foundation in place, and we're looking to see like how do we go even higher from there. All right. So Jay, in this conversation, I'm going to hide nothing and hold nothing back. Are you good with that?
Yep.
All right, cool. And I am here to serve you rather than to please or platform you. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep.
And then the third thing is that I have a series of having life changing conversations. Like that's just what I do. And at this point, I don't want anything less than that. So are you good with this being a positively life changing conversation?
That's why I said yes to it.
All right, cool, cool. So let's play. So given that, then um, let's use that if the promise of or the premise of life change is on the table. What would we need to talk about for this to be a life changing conversation for you?
Well, I mean, I can only tell you what I think we need to talk about,
Okay.
which is a pathway to financial viability for my business in this new era,
Yeah. Yeah.
with all of the technological change. I mean, particularly AI, but it's not limited to that. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So we're gonna get into some specifics, and like 'cause, like that, I get it from like the high level here.
Mhm.
Um, And I'm just going to go with the first question that's on me. Like if I need to ask more specifics, I will, or and bring it in as we need to. But you said earlier, you talked about the method of running that you have and the dreams that runners have, right? Where they
Mhm.
talk about smooth and flowing and
Mhm.
they can just
Mhm.
run forever. And you're like,
Mhm.
that's what it's supposed to be. That's your birthright, right?
Right.
I think you said learning. If you see me looking down, I'm looking at my notes, but it's like
Yeah.
learning how to stop fighting your body and run with it instead. Does that feel like
And
that?
yeah, and work with it instead.
And
Yep.
work with it
Yep. Mhm.
instead,
Mhm.
right? All right, cool. So let's say like for right now, right? If your business was like if we like was your body instead, right? In this case here, if we substitute that in what places right now are you fighting with your business? Let's start with that first.
I would say I just don't even recognize my body. I mean, it's
Mm,
a great metaphor because I always, like, especially in the days when I had an entirely in-person business for like the first, 12 years, I did 12 something roughly. I did this, it was entirely in person with runners. And, um, and there were times I had people working for me as well. So it wasn't all just me doing it, but I felt like it became like my business was like part of my body, and I could literally feel in it, how it was doing what was going on.
yeah,
And taking it online, of course, changes that a bit, but still, I mean, thinking back, I think I still could kind of sense what was happening with it, almost before I saw the numbers.
yeah, hmm,
And I'm not like a super great numbers person, so that's really important for me,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah.
Um, probably even through the pandemic, when obviously, I mean, life was so online, and I was live streaming like every day for a while, and getting a lot of feedback and interaction that way, you know. Um, but now it's thinking back, it's hard for me to find when exactly I lost that. But right now, I mean, as a Feldenkrais practitioner, we're always working with the self-image, like because
Exactly.
there's a map of your body in your brain.
Okay.
It's developed through exploration. It's continually revised through exploration, and errors in that map mean that you go to try to do something and something else happens, right? And so you turn the steering wheel the wrong way because the map was wrong.
Yep. Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and I just feel I just don't even like, do I even have a map? Do I have I don't, a physical sensation of my business? I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't think I do. And I don't know if that's just because everything changed so fast. It was sort of like looking back at the numbers, I can see there was a huge cliff that my business went off
Yep.
in November 2024.
Okay.
It's like
Right. Yep.
when AI rolled out, it was like
Yep.
immediate because
Okay.
search changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so leads just plunged
Yeah.
and, without a parachute, and I can't find a way to get lift again. And I don't feel like I know how to make a movement that is effective. I don't know if I really answered your question, but I
I
know
think
I
you
said a
answered it.
lot of stuff.
No, just keep saying things, right? Like
Okay.
think, let things unearth, right? Because sometimes, like, don't worry about anything other. Don't worry about anything actually. Um, so one of the things I hear from you is like there was a time when you were really connected with your business. Like you could see
Yeah.
it, you can feel it all in there. Over time, as it went online more and more, the disconnection actually seemed to like the story feels like this disconnection seemed to increase. You always had like some general pulse on it, and
Mhm.
now I'm talking to you about it. You're like, I don't even know.
Right.
I don't even know. Like we're gonna get into some tactical things and so on and so forth. We're listening, not tactical, maybe strategic, in a bit. But I want to stay with this for a bit here. Like, so
Okay.
if like, I'm imagining like you working with people over the years and like someone coming in and be like, I don't know, I have no self-image of my body. Like I can't see this map here. Like, what would be the first thing you would say to someone in that position?
Um, they would be saying that in response to questions that I'm asking, like, do you feel which side of your body is resting heavier on the floor?
Okay.
Well, not really, like would be a
Yeah.
classic answer. Not really. And so
Yeah.
my answer is always, okay, not really equals a little bit.
Okay.
Not really
Okay.
is not zero.
Yep.
And it's my job to ask you questions that I think you probably have never thought of considering.
Yep.
And it's fine to not know the answer.
Yeah.
It's the paying attention that builds the image. And over time, you'll find you do know the answer. You can feel what's going on. And that just grows and grows through going into the unknown and just you know, asking question after question that you don't already know the answer to, right?
Okay. I love this here. So like as you say this here, like like walk me through how are you applying this method to your business right now? What is the thing that you're paying attention to? What are the questions that you're asking yourself about?
Yeah. So the like key thing, if if my business were to more or less continue to follow the model
Yep.
of selling courses,
Yep.
uh, video analysis,
Yep.
and online coaching, then I need leads,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So it's leads coming in.
Yep.
And what increases that? And what, when I stop doing it, correlates with leads going down.
Yeah.
Um, and I did and then there's another aspect to this, which we haven't touched on yet, which is that I'm also working on getting back in person with people for
Yep.
part-time.
Okay.
For many years there, for like a decade there, or a little less, online was the most resilient business
Hmm.
model for me, given my life and global situation.
Yeah.
I think that's flipped, and in person, human relationships, the most resilient business model.
Yep.
But I'm in a place that it's technically not new. I moved here in 2022, but it still feels new. And I've been
Yeah.
working now for 2 years on building relationships. There are a lot of runners, Salt Lake
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
And I do have competitors here in a way that I haven't had in where I've been on the ground in the past.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Yeah.
But even the digital changes, I think, change how people make decisions and what they look for.
Okay.
And I just have not been able to get any traction at all.
Yeah.
And so I'm also asking, like, so now, like, just this last week, it occurred to me the question I need to start asking people here is, what gets you taken seriously in Salt Lake City,
Ah,
right? In the running community here.
okay. Yeah.
Because, like, accomplishments wise, like, I've got a list,
Yep.
but that doesn't seem to be doing the job. So there's
Yeah.
something else that gets you connected and seen as legit and as a resource that people would turn to here. And I haven't figured out what it is yet.
Okay. So we're gonna play in a couple different places. I'm gonna tell you one thing I was going down, and then I'm gonna leave it to you to I'm gonna invite you to like keep playing with this during and after our conversation. Okay.
Okay.
So the first thing here, the reason I was asking you the questions about like how you be working with your clients and um how do I say the name of the method?
Oh, Feldenkrais.
Feldenkrais. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm intimidated to say it. Feldenkrais, right?
Yeah, I know. That alone is a business problem, let me say.
Right? So the Feldenkrais method is this like I know you have over 2 decades worth of experience in this, right? You're
Mhm.
steeped in it, right? And so like a lot of times I find like it's not about how do we learn something new, but it's like how do we translate the things that we already know, where we're like we have mastery over, and see like what it would occur, right? And so I'm imagining myself like being someone that like you know the steep decline in November 2024 might be me stepping on a scale and like realizing that I've like gained a lot of weight, or like going to a doctor's visit and the doctor being like, you need to change your lifestyle, and be like, boom, or if not, this will happen, or someone in my life having something that like I can see that being the equivalent of like what a steep drop
Mhm.
would look like for me. And then I'm like coming into the space and being like, okay, what like I don't even know what questions to ask right now. Like, what do I like? I'm not even sure how to be aware of it. And I love like the simplicity behind the questions that you have there. I don't know the answers to this right now, but I feel like there's wisdom in your existing the existing base of mastery that we might be able to translate into this business context right here. Okay. And
Okay.
so I'm not going to go down it any more in this conversation, but I have a feeling that like there will be more answers than questions, or maybe good questions, given where it is, if we give some more space to that. Are you open to that overall?
Yeah. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Does that feel like does it feel like there's any truth in that at all? Or does it feel like nah, no?
Yeah, it does actually. I mean, it's really nice to turn it all back to like, yeah, my methodological approach, like the professional skills I have, applying them to my business.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because the game is transformation, right? Sustained transformation. And like what I've found over time is that like every model works. It's just like, will you work it? Like that's a more important question. You lost the self-image of the business. And like
Mhm.
when that happened, you couldn't ask yourself the same kind of questions as before. I'm like,
Right.
if we can get you back connected to that, I'm pretty sure that you're going to be able to move through that way faster than any external like person is going to be able to do, because you just know you know what to do with it. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
Yeah.
put that out overall. All right.
Okay.
Leads. Right. That's generally where it's at. Right. So like I'm my style is like, how do we take how do we take the things that work for you and turn it in like, and how do we apply it now given the changing context, right?
Right.
So I'm listening to various things, and like I think the thing that's coming to me right now as we're talking is like I get the sense of like new from you, Jay, where it's like I guess I have to do things new now. Like, all right, what like I'm here. Like, what do you want to hear? Like, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't feel like it's coming from like like an inspired or even like a place where you have like a competitive like real moat or advantage. When I hear it, like
Mhm.
it feels like it would get more tactical. And I'm trying to like make sure that like as we go down this, we don't end up in the tactics for me, because you know what they are. You've been doing this long enough to know what could be
Right.
done. you know the thing for me is I'm like, okay, what's missing for you
Right.
in the things that you already know could like are out there. So let me check in with that. There's some inclinations of some ideas I have, but like you also have ideas. So I need
Yeah.
to like
Well, and
make
I
sure I
did
know
actually
that.
just launch something new that I could tell you about that I do have a lot of excitement about right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like it's the right kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that I can make it. I feel like it's got potential, but
Yeah.
you
Go ahead
know.
and just say it. Just say it. Yeah.
So I started doing so I've struggled a lot with video. I
Yeah.
did really well with video during the pandemic through live streams. And
Yes.
it was a great era because people would forgive any technical
Okay.
issue, right?
Okay.
Because everybody was just getting online. So my son practicing violin in the background, low
Yeah.
image quality,
Yeah.
weird living room setup, all forgiven. And I could
Cool.
just get on and put stuff out there.
Nice.
And then those videos had legs for a couple years after, though.
Okay.
People still look at them, but they're and I'm having trouble getting out enough video for just logistical and technical reasons anyway.
Okay.
To that as much video as I think would bring in leads. But
Okay.
actually, my assistant came up with a great idea and I've been doing it that gets me live again.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's called, so I'm doing a weekly live stream called Gates of the Greats,
Nice.
which is a running form analysis of one of history's great runners.
Cool.
So in the running world, pre 2016, which is pre super shoes,
Yeah.
and if anyone doesn't know what those are, God bless you, remain in happy ignorance.
Yeah.
But for the rest of us, that's a real dividing line in terms of how people were running. My best clients are older
Yeah.
and ran before super shoes and
Yeah.
grew up inspired by,
Mm.
the great runners of the 20th century.
Yeah.
And to get just YouTube footage and break it down and do it, prepare, but do it live.
Yeah.
I think those live streams will have, good lifespan after I do them. I think they'll
Yeah.
attract and interest the right kind of people, and they showcase the very human way that I do running form analysis,
Yeah.
which in this era of apps that
Yep.
will do that when you upload video. And I don't know, I was just talking to a guy who's like built an AI thing that's like free and he wanted to be able to ask me for advice. And I was like, well, that's the thing that's putting me out of business. So I don't really know about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he's
Okay.
like, but they're asking ChatGPT anyway, so we may as well make something accurate. Well, I don't disagree, but anyway, but I but I do something that no app does.
Yep.
And I do something that if you go to a university gate lab or, like a more medical venue also, they're not going to approach things this way.
Yep.
And so it shows my process and it
Yeah.
shows how understood a runner can be through gait
Yeah.
analysis and helped. Um, and so anyway, I'm super excited about that. I've done 3 episodes so far,
Yep.
and views like whatever, like I think none of them have broken 1,000 views yet, but still for an hour-long live stream and something that's pretty new and whatever, I think that to me looks promising and is doing better than the fully prepared videos that I was doing before. So anyway, I'm excited about that because it's a very I just feel like in this again in this AI era, like we're going through feelings about that very quickly. I feel like the bloom is already coming off for some people. I feel like I mean whatever. So you want no, no. Let me try not to rant.
Yeah.
I could.
I
But anyway, so
like
I think people are
yeah.
already like some of the people I asked my audience, would you be because I was approached by another AI company where I could have made money to
Yeah.
to make an app.
Yeah.
And I asked my audience, would you be interested in such a thing? And I got almost no responses, but one
Yeah.
person wrote back and said, the only use case I can think of for an AI version of you is to help an AI version of me run better.
Yeah.
And
I love
like,
that. That's awesome. That's I
yeah.
love that. That's cool.
My
That's cool.
people tend to have that attitude anyway, but it's like
Yeah.
finding them. But anyway, I just feel like we might be on the backside of the first wave where people are
Cool.
already starting to hunger more for the human,
Yeah.
and it gives me a chance to show what I have to offer.
If you're a leader with a track record of success and there's a vision you're ready to bring to life that feels outrageous right now, I have an invitation for you. Outlier's Edge is a world for different minded, like hearted leaders who are owning what makes them different to make a world of difference. And at the center of that world is a weekly coaching room where we bring the visions that just won't leave us alone. We get coached, stay accountable, and build alongside others, creating something different. If you're pursuing something that's too big, too early, or too improbable for most rooms, this is your room. Go to outliersedge.com/world and come in as my guest. Yeah, like I'm also like paying attention. Like I'm not just listening with my ears, right? So I'm
Yeah.
listening with my whole body here, and like I'm like, okay, the energy in this conversation just went up. You know,
Mhm.
like this was the first time. Like we're not trying to claw out of something.
Right.
Like this is something where you're sitting above, and you're like, hey, look, like this is kind of where I'm at. What I took from that was one, there's something about the live format, like you are deliciously human, Jay. You're deliciously human, and like the opportunities that people get to experience your the humanness of you, like that works really lovely, right? Like whether it's in person or something like that, like that works. So live is really good for those of us who are like good with humans, you know. I would be doing this live. I typically do things live. I stopped doing it live because I'm meeting new people and I haven't given them any evidence of like what it's like. And I think people will be like, I don't know if I can go live or whatnot, but like
Yeah.
we're going back to live, like at some point, you know.
Right.
Like I have to do real time, but like I saw you light up when you brought that in, and then you talked about basically just doing your work with the unique take that you take on gait analysis, you
Hmm.
know, and demonstrating that out in the world. And like, so for me, what came from there was this element of like, how do we just keep you like human? How do we can keep you doing things what like in the versions of whatever live happens to be, right? But like
Right.
more real than process, I guess is really what I would say,
Yeah.
you know, like or then polished or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
you out there, right? So it's like, all right, like get the kids in the background, great. Like that actually worked even better for you, right?
Yeah.
It's like you doing the same thing in a studio might not have worked, you know?
Right.
And then the third thing is like, how do we continue to demonstrate your unique expertise in the way that like gets people into your world or continues to have them go down further, right? And so like this gate analysis is something that you're really great at. I hear the element of like gates of the greats. Like I love it. It sounds awesome. Everything works for it. My general things like, and there's probably enough of them. But my thing is like, why stop there? Like, why not get greats of like get gates of the people who've been with you for X number of years before?
Yeah.
And just make that the content for a while. Because my understanding of I'm not like a YouTube expert, like in terms of like
Mm.
but my understanding is that like the algorithm has changed from showing things from the people who were following you, and who they were following to interest based, right? So just like who's looking for these things. So you're getting more of the people who you're getting lower view counts, but more people who are like genuinely interested in what it is that you're putting out there. And so like I like my hypothesis is why not put out more of what you want to put out there and
Hmm.
allow the algorithm to do the work for you of being like, go
Right.
find these people for me. That comes along with it. All right, Jay, I've talked a long time, so I'm going to
Yeah.
pause. What are you getting from any of this here? Like it could be alignment, it could be total misalignment. Like, just calibrate me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really right. And like, I'm excited about this project and I also like, am really enjoying it. Like
Yeah.
it's more work than I thought it was gonna be. That is like I was
Yep. Sounds
joking
about
with
right.
my son the other day. It was like what's the phrase I say most often is like, wow, that took a lot longer than I thought it was going to. I was
Yeah.
like, I
Yeah.
went into it, this should be really easy. I'll just prep for an hour beforehand. It's like, no, no. But that's okay. And if you're gonna do anything like this, you have to make sure that you're optimizing and getting your description and your thumbnail that's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
attractive to anybody and all that stuff. It takes time.
Yeah.
But
Hold on, Jay. I just lost you for a bit. Let's make sure we come back
I'm
into
not sure
connection.
the algorithm is working for us. And
Mm,
I'm not sure the algorithm is promoting the human.
mm,
And so I feel like the part I feel shaky about
mhm.
is like my effectively getting it out there
Explain.
enough.
I'll get it out there enough. You're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, getting it before enough eyes. People who would enjoy it, people who would share it, people who would talk about it.
Yeah. So, all right. So there's So there's a couple different things with that. I think that the question, some of the things I go to are like, all right, one we had said right before we got started here about like the word energy, you know,
Yeah.
and so like I'm looking for like where's like there's a lot that's asking for you. You're looking at where is your business growing to in this in like this age, like we're heading to a new generation of everything here. And for me, I'm like, if we can keep you in a space where like Jay's energy like is like the super high notch of it all, like a lot of
Mhm.
these up like how do I say it? The energy to figure out what is needed to make this work. I actually have a lot more confidence in that than like trying to randomly like hopefully get the jackpot on the perfect format and ascension or like channel to go down. I'm like if
Mhm.
you can do this and this works for you and it's currently taking you an hour and you have to figure out all this stuff here and we can maybe outsource some of this stuff, this kind of work to AI of like the descriptions and the thumbnails and all that stuff there, and we keep you as much as possible, just like being with people and demonstrating what it's like when you are with people. Like that to me, I'm like, if that gives you energy and that can keep you in the game, then like put another way, it's like I don't know like how many views it's going to end up there, but I'm like, if you can do two or three times, like, let's say you had to do two or three times now, what would be required back in it from what back in the day?
Right.
It's like, well, if you have the energy to do two or three times, then you can do that. But if it's something that it took a lot from you just to get that one out there, then it just like needs to hit. Does that make sense or not? Let me make sure I'm checking in.
Well, I'm not 100% sure, but
Yeah,
I mean, maybe this answers that
yeah,
is like I also kind of I'm a good process person. I'm a
yeah,
good and so like, each week I do the live stream, I see, like have a better checklist, and then I'm
yeah,
going to be able to hand the checklist off to preferably a person. Like there's this like uncertain ground underneath my feet, even with having AI do some of this kind of work for me. First, people can I identify that stuff like straight away.
yeah,
Anything it hurts me. But second, I've twice recently had the experience, once with a podcast appearance that I did,
yeah.
where they clearly used AI to create the summary and show notes.
Mhm.
And then once in a Q&A Zoom call that I did,
Yeah.
where I was using the Zoom summary thing to do bullet points because I never get those done because they take too long.
Yep.
And in both cases, AI simply omitted everything that was new or unusual that I said,
Yep. Makes
which
sense.
in the case of the podcast interview was like everything that the podcast was about. There was a new idea I was so excited to talk about, and it was completely missing from the description. I've never gotten so little response from a podcast appearance that I did. So, and like then that shakes me,
Gotcha.
right?
Did you reach back out to the person and be like, this podcast description is not
I
serving?
did, and
Yeah.
I
Okay.
did, and yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's do this, Jay. Like, because I hear you. I'm logging this, right?
Right.
What I want to do is we're gonna bounce a couple of things. I'm gonna keep asking you questions. And we're gonna keep seeing how you feel about different things. So I'm like, okay, like, all right, I'm seeing kind of like what's happened on the video side. I hear live, I hear human, I hear like actually doing your best work, and the things that differentiate you, making sure that gets out into the world, and you're going through the process of continuous improvement on that. Is what I what
Yeah.
I what I feel like I'm hearing. You talked to me about like some wins you have been having with leads, or like it happened one time. You mentioned like uh, a mention that you got,
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Right. All right. So without having to go too much into that, you can share whatever you want to share about that there. But that got me really interested as well, which is like, it's like, okay, like in terms of that's something that it recently has worked out for you, where you were able to be mentioned in something, and it brought in a bunch of different people from that mention. Right.
Mhm.
The question for me is like it's not like I'm trying to find like where the edge of the question is here. It's not
Mhm.
like, why don't you just do more of that? That's not that. That's not the edge of it,
Right.
right?
Yeah. That was
I
right.
was like,
That
oh,
it was
great.
outside. It was a gift. It was outside of my control anyway. Aside
Yeah,
from it came about through, a couple of decades of me doing what I do.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but I didn't do anything specific to make it happen.
I think, and so like the question in my mind here is like, what if you did? Like not if you like, what if going forward you put like concerted effort into making something like that happen, right? Where um the two things that are coming for me right now related to this, I'll just put it all in the space and let's see how we play with it.
Okay.
Um, is there a channel where like working with influencers or working with other people who are like also in this space and like either and getting them to be mentioning you on a regular basis, like rather than having to just build it from your own pond, it's coming in there.
Right.
Is there a channel right there that hasn't been tapped into? One and the other side of it that got me was like you're both of y'all in the same space, and
Yeah.
yet somehow he mentioned you and it led to this thing. And when you brought up being in Salt Lake City, you're like there's a bunch of other competitors here, and I was like, well, what if Jay didn't play the competitors game? What if like Jay like what if the gift wasn't the like the Instagram followers? What if the gift was like, wait a minute, we can do this together, and and rather than trying to like outcompete, we find a way to like collaborate in a way that hasn't been done before. And what's coming to my mind right now, I've only been to Salt Lake City for no, I've actually been to Salt Lake City. I've been to Utah once for another type for like the type of race. But like I'm like, is there like something that an event or something that can be put together that can be held in some kind of way that like actually has each of you like building off each other, and that in and of
Right.
itself builds the clout that like that puts you in a different position, so on and so forth. So
Hmm.
I'm gonna put
That's
it like,
interesting.
okay, go ahead, I'll pause.
Yeah, so well, it's interesting to think about how that might happen. So I have a funny relationship with the term competitor because I wasn't an athlete. I'm a very physical person, but
Mm.
I opted for dance.
Mm.
Um, and even in auditions, with 400 other women and me all competing for like the one role. And like, so supposedly that's a competition. The only thing is an audition is like a competition where you don't know where the finish line is and you don't even know quite what sport you're playing. So, you know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
get you.
Like,
Yep.
it's a little mysterious what gets the job, right? So, but I knew many dancers who did feel really competitive with the other dancers in the audition, and I never felt that way. I always felt like the only person I can possibly compete with here is myself.
Yeah.
Like, can I make sure I get seen? How fast can I learn the combinations? How fast can I understand what they're really looking for? That's all I
Yes.
can do.
Yes.
And then if the pre-existing costume wouldn't even fit me, well, then I'm going to get cut anyway. So
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
not even take that as feedback.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's how I roll. So when I say competitor, I mean, I think, and furthermore, it's just me and I don't want that big a practice.
Mm.
So, the gate lab here that's run by the biomechanist who ran the gate lab at the University of Utah for like 15 years, like she's deeply connected to this community and people know about her more. You know what I mean? Like she's just way
Yeah.
out in front of me on that. I
Yeah.
couldn't possibly hurt her business.
Yeah.
There's enough runners here for both of us.
Yes.
That's my feeling, and so I
Uh-huh.
don't feel competitive with these people,
Yeah.
but I do realize that if a runner thinks I need help with my gait,
Uh-huh.
odds are very good they're going to go to her before me. Just
She's just more
she's
established in the area.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
she has all the stuff. Yeah, got you.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and then also her practice is more conventional. Like I'm so far outside the box in every way. So then there's
Interesting.
that.
Interesting. Like it because it's like what's the thing that's interesting to me is that like until you said that, I did not feel that.
Mm.
Right. And that I think like coming back to the element of humanness and everything, I think that's why like the strategy tactical part was like falling through because I'm like it ended up being more conventional than I thought. So like you're so far away from that. You're so far out of the box. Tell me about that.
Well, having said that, I think the
Yeah.
box is really changing very fast now.
Okay.
And so what I had to do to have a practice of some kind, I had to learn to speak runner.
Yeah.
When I speak somatic,
Yeah.
I speak embodiment.
Yeah.
I speak learning, I speak movement. And none of that stuff was anything practically any runner thought they wanted.
Yep.
What they wanted was the same speed at a lower heart rate or
Yes.
a higher speed at the same heart rate, a quicker
Mm.
recovery post marathon,
Yeah.
right? So I had to learn how to find the runner specific benefits
Mm.
to the very embodied work that I was doing with people that would bring them in the door and then let them tell me about all the other ways their lives were changing because of the work we were doing, right? It couldn't come from me because even the runner specific benefits kind of beggar belief.
Yeah.
They're phenomenal, and people spend a lot of money right now on shoes that will get you just a fraction of what my work can do. And so if I also tell them they're going to sleep better and be a better father, like never, for most of my career, that would have meant no clients at all.
Yeah.
It's like that
Yep.
couldn't possibly be true, right?
Yep.
But
Nah,
times are
but yeah.
changing, and other people in the field are changing,
Yep.
and talking more about um, relationship with yourself, your emotions, your breathing,
Yeah.
letting go instead of working harder.
Yeah.
Beautiful stuff. Ways that I want to see the field change. Like this is my other thing about competition is like I consider that I win if the field changes in the direction I'm trying to change it.
Ooh.
Like if I make it easy for people who 10 years ago were saying the opposite of what I was saying, to now be saying the same thing as what I'm saying without feeling like I forced them to eat crow or admit that they were wrong or take anything back, right? If I help make it really easy for the whole field to change, then and adopt my ideas, then I win, especially if I get to stay in business while they do that. Um,
No,
so
this is good. Keep going.
so yeah, sorry.
Keep going, please.
Yeah, so anyway, but yeah, I mean, I think on the ground here, you're always up with runners, you're always up against, there's also like a masochism or a tendency, like a lot of people turn to endurance sports because they've experienced some trauma and it gives
Yeah.
them, like enough work to do and suffering to undertake that they're in control of, to cope and function, right?
Oh, okay.
And so there's like, but they don't want to feel their bodies too much.
Yeah, I got you.
So there's that. And then, like there's suffering is built into the sport of running if you're really competing. And so there's a lot of tuning out that runners depend on. And I think that that's what puts people into a really quantitative mindset. And I do think it's still really real around here.
Okay.
I mean, still really real in the running community in general. I think it's easier for people to go to someone who's gonna measure their gait and talk about joint angles and VO2 max and you know what I
See, this is
Okay,
good.
I've
This is
wound
where
down. What are you hearing?
no, yeah. So what I'm hearing is that you play out of the box, and to your point, or like that started to sound like the box is like changing. By the way, we're at the top of the hour. I have a couple more minutes,
Oh,
but do you have to run?
no, I'm flexible.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure we're good. Yeah, but like the box is changing,
Right.
and like this is like I think there's a part of me that wants to look at like the changing world and be like, how is this
Mhm.
working in Jay's favor rather than like having her
Right,
have
right.
like working against you, right? I'm like when I said the algorithm's working for me, whether or not it is or not, I feel better. Like and I will produce and I will figure out what is necessary, knowing like with the wind behind me as opposed to I'm working against it. Most other people
Yeah,
out there are like they're freaking out about the changes that are happening around them, right?
right.
Because it's all over and like everywhere you look, there's something. And so like what I heard from you is like it's like, oh, the box is changing. And I think about 2020 me as a coach, like like me trying to explain what coaching was and the benefits of all that stuff there. And like then people like just went and they changed. The market changed. And now it's not like explain this to me. I've never heard about it. It's like, oh, like you're the 15th person in my inbox about this. What makes you different? Right. And so now they're like I'm thinking I like for a long time I was still playing in the 2020 world of like I'll have to make sure you know what this is. Let me get it. And like they're all like, no, we're much more educated as consumers, like, and
Mhm.
now given that we're looking for the nuance as to what, like, where's the right place for us, you know. And so when I hear you talking about this, like, what's coming to me is, I'm like, Jay, you do this differently. Like, perhaps there's some kind of equivalent right now where it's like the somatic could be like, it may have more room right now, right? And again, going back, like, let the algorithm work for you. It's like, well, like, maybe locally there's something here, but the algorithm will find the people who like they're runners, and now they're like, but I'm also on this other journey as well. And
Mhm.
thankfully, like, I can come to Jay's world, and they're like, the only space I can find where both of these things are together, because
Mhm.
everyone else is too metric driven, and that's not what I'm looking for. Now, whether or not they become customers or the best customers, that's something to, also keep in mind there. But there's things about what you're saying where I'm like, you have room for differentiation in a world where, like, nowadays it feels like everything, like, when I said the interesting about the interest about the algorithm, the general sense that I got from where the algorithm is going is that it's being really, really tailored, and be like, this is like, this person wants it, so I'm going to put it in front of them. This person does not want it, so I'm not going to put it in front of them. All right. Whereas in the day, it's like, well, this person's generally interested in it. We'll see where we'll make it happen. And so there's something that's coming here where I'm like, Jay, you have some distinctions to you, and I'm wondering, like, if, like, what would happen if that was out in the world more? And if it is out in the world a lot, you let me know. But I hear that you can talk the runner game, and I'm like, perhaps the world has expanded from where it is, and like you don't all have to compete for the same, like, in the same way against, like, the same kinds of metrics and stuff like that. You know
Yeah.
your world better than me, so like, let's check in on that. But um, I will stop there, and, like, I would like to get
Yeah.
the thoughts from you. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, it's funny. Even that's helpful information about the algorithm. And I think I've experienced that lately. Like a couple of, like, YouTube was just sure that I would like this French band that does medieval covers of modern pop songs. And it just kept putting it. And it was like, that's weird. That's weird. Finally, I clicked on it and I'm like, you know what? I love
This is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's definitely an example of, now it kind of pisses me off. They're sure I want this video about the cat that walked on stage in the middle of a ballet performance. And I'm like, no, I'm not
Nah, nah,
clicking on that
not
one.
doing it.
Just I'm just,
Uh,
you can't make
just
me.
I shall not pass. You just, like, this is my rock. Yes, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
But yeah, okay, that's interesting information. I think I could, yeah,
Yeah, this
gives you.
there's something here, Jay, that I think like, we'll start wrapping up the conversation here. And if you want to get into something more tactical or strategic, let me know. Like I could go there, but I specifically didn't go there. Because, like, I have, like, an actuarial background, so I can go through and be like, all right, what are your leads? What percentage are going through here?
Mhm.
What's
Mhm.
getting to this stage? What's happening here? What's your lead magnet?
Right,
Like, we could
right.
have that conversation. If you want to have that conversation, we can have that another time. Like, that's fine. But it was something for me where I'm like, one, what's the unlock for you? That's really what I was looking at for, like, what's the unlock for you? What's the thing that, like, brings sunshine in versus, like, like mildly, like I get, so, like when you laugh, Jay, like, you go off camera, and, like, you know what I mean, like your whole body moves with it. It's like this and that, and I'm like, oh, this is awesome, you know. And so, like, so I'm trying not to engage the brain right now, because the
Mm.
brain keeps searching for answers on this stuff here, and I'm like, like you're good. Like, I heard, even when you were talking about all the gates and all the metrics and things like that, like, I was like, this makes, like, clearly, like, the intelligence can handle all of that, but you have something different and special, and I'm like, I wonder if, like, this is an opportunity for this next generation of business. You've done 25 years, like, the way that it was supposed to be, quote unquote, and now everything's been shifted on you and everything. So I'm like, is there a way to bring in more of what you do in, like, from the front, like, that humanness element, and then
Mhm.
say, like, okay, like, let's go and make this work. Not everyone's going to want to watch a coaching podcast, but those who do, because what happened, Jay, was I started getting inbound requests and referrals for people to come onto my interview and Q&A podcast. And, like, eventually I realized, I'm like, I don't want this. Like, I kept saying no, 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 no. And I was like, oh, I'm building this brand out there. I didn't know this, but, like, I keep interviewing and asking people to come on and get a roundtable. And so I get more people who want to be interviewed and want to come on a roundtable. I was like, So what would happen if I just decided to coach? Because I want people to coach. Like, so if I started coaching, there will be people who come to me and be like, "Hey, I saw your thing, or someone passed it on there, and like I saw what you like this conversation, and I would love to like. I think you would really be able to help me, or you'd be able to help my organization, or whatever it is." And I'm like, let's go put more of that out into the world because the algorithm is like the algorithm. All they care about getting people to watch, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
So
As
if we
long as
can
possible. Yeah,
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 if we can keep giving them the what is it, the French band that plays the
yeah,
special type of
yeah,
music,
yeah,
and it gets them to watch one more commercial before they go on there, like it wins, you know.
yeah.
And so like I'm looking at this and say, how can I align with what the algorithm all like already wants, and like but like get my sliver of it,
Hmm.
you know, and play from there. And so there's just something about you that's wonderfully different. That's wonderfully different, and I know that you've had a lot of success like being in their world with it. But there is a part of me that as we're listening, I'm like, what's the part that gets you like to be free? And then you bring that with all of the rest of your business knowledge. Like you know what to do, but like that's what I was listening for. You may or may not have gotten it there today. Like so like if you missed it, that's why I don't want to perform because otherwise I would have gone with what's safe, which has been like just tell me your numbers, you know.
Right, right,
Um,
right.
Whereas I think that there's something here where I'm like, you have something more to offer, and this might be an opportunity to actually bring that out into the world in a meaningful way.
Sounds great.
Jay,
Yeah.
what's like? It's how do I say it? I feel like daggers sounds great. I'm like, you know, like when
Oh,
I don't,
no.
no, I don't need you to, I don't need to explain. You don't need to, you don't need to like. I want to be upfront. I want to be real.
Oh,
Like,
no,
and
no.
like,
But you should feel the opposite. I mean, I think what made me want to talk with you was I heard you kind of do this for other people. Like,
mm,
like and it was the thing that I felt I needed help with. Again, like I've covered some distance in that direction already myself,
yeah,
but since
yep,
we started back and forth,
yep.
but because I know because of how the universe works, that it's absolutely true that if I find my way back, out of like kind of a dark few years here
Yeah.
into like the thing that's really joyful and that is unique and that I can really give people in a way that gets it out there, that that's the best possible thing I could do for my business. But to have some support in seeing that and finding that is the best possible thing I could receive.
Thank you for saying it, Jay. I appreciate it. I realize right now, I'm feeling hot because I'm like, oh no. I didn't need to I'm not like, but I appreciate it and I'm receiving that here. Um I think it goes to kind of what we're saying here, right?
Hmm.
It's like what like are we making the invitations for the people that we really want to be supported so that when they see it, they're like, okay, I get why, like, no, like this is the right thing for me right now. All right. What's been your biggest insight from any part of our conversation today, even maybe before we even hit record?
Well, this is going to seem trivial, but it's not. Um, one of the things that I've been struggling with is feeling targeted,
Mm,
right? Because when you learn a bit about the shenanigans, it's the plan for search as a destination instead of a portal, and all of that, and then to be also in the kind of in the holistic world, then anyway, a lot
yeah,
of shenanigans,
yeah,
and like it's important to live in reality and and to know that all my problems are actually not necessarily personal.
mhm.
But then I just feel like I'm being followed by sites, like, and I don't
Yes,
know how to get out of the crosshairs, right? I don't
yes,
know how to go find a place where I can thrive instead of where I'm just trying not to finally die.
yeah, yeah.
And so, and so even like you've just kind of switched the frame for me around, like even that could be different if the energy flow is better for me. And what I really have to offer is what I'm putting out there instead of trying to calibrate my message to what I think people are ready to hear and the algorithm will share. You know what I mean? That lifts a really big weight.
I feel it. Like, yeah, I said it when I first met you, but I think you're incredible. I think there's a lot, I think there's a lot with that, and um, I could feel the weight of like if you feel the target's always on you, the crosshairs are always on you, like what can be. So, um, thank you for playing full out. Thank you for being here fully here. Like, we'll end this conversation if we have like 2 more minutes. We'll wrap up together afterwards.
Okay.
But I'll go and say this: outliers. Until the next time we talk, be you on purpose. Journey on.